Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to Stretford, Paddock. I am Adam McKola. He is Stephen Howson. Manchester United 3, Burnley 1. It didn't look like it was going to be that
Told
way.
you it'd be 0-0.
To be fair, obviously the 0-0 went early on, but there was a part in the game where I thought, he's right, and it's going to be a draw. They're going to draw.
We do draw more often than I would be happy with those sorts of games, but delighted that wasn't the case this time around, and actually we've managed to get 3 points, and I'm more about how some of the individual players performed, actually. There was some pretty good performances, and we've got a week off. I can't tell you how much I think that's going to benefit us this week. Bolly takes him to like a fucking spa and has a fucking like the toenails painted and shit.
Yeah. Go Butlins, lads. You deserve it. You know what I mean?
One of the things we walk around with a towel on your head and a dressing gown.
Yeah.
Bald, what are you doing? Shut up. I want to fucking walkabout.
You're right. And I think this week will be a great week for them to be able to work on different things, work on different shape. And because we haven't been able to do that for a year or so. Like since the last preseason we went to.
Is it 51 games? Weekend and midweek back to back.
Yes,
that we've had. So there's been no time. Yeah, first midweek off that we've had, which is insane. I can't even tell you. That's so.
Thanks to Laurie Whitwell for those stats.
Because I ain't got a fucking calendar. Anyway.
Well, he did put them together and stick them in the Athletic.
So the hi Laurie. The the workflow that the players have, the week sort of schedule, a lot of it's recover, quick little bit on the tactics for this weekend, travel. And there is no time for, hey lads, we've been a bit shit at set pieces, haven't we, this year? Let's do some set piece work. There's not a lot of time for that. So they get sent a lot of videos going, hey, can you see that? Can you do that? Like, that's to the extent of what a lot of their training is. Or they'll show them some slides and they go, that's how a really good team defends corners. Any chance?
Yeah.
But they don't get to actually work on it. So sometimes that works. Visually seeing some stuff, you can actually pick it up. You can learn almost as much as when you're doing it, but not as much when you're doing it.
As we learn in school, all humans are different. We all learn in different ways. Some people might be able to be told. Some people might need to do it 2, 3, 4 times in the training pitch. And you mentioned set pieces today. It did look like that was the thing that was going to be the undoing of us, didn't
That's Burnley. You play Burnley. You've got 2 threats. You've got set pieces, which they're a nightmare at, and you've got Chris Woods going up and bullying Lindelof, and you think, fucking hell. Those 2 things nearly came home to roost. This close on an offside for the first one, which without VAR, maybe that gets given. Maybe, I don't know. But the threat was there 12 seconds into the game. Maybe that was a great warning shot for United to fix up and expect what's coming. But yeah, it was a bit of an early shock. We weathered it. Half time. Wasn't really a lot going on in the game. Pogba had started off brightly and kind of faded out again a little bit of it.
And then he re-emerged towards the end of the game, didn't he? He kind of had a dip in the middle, which was interesting.
But yeah, I thought there was some decent individual performances. I thought Marcus looked like he was our best threat, and then when we took him off, you're like, Jesus, we're going to get a goal now. And then was it 2 after he went off?
Mason Greenwood, man.
Mason's in some great form at the moment. It's really good to see.
I made a point. Sorry to cut you there. I made a point. I want to ask your opinion on this. I feel this Mason Greenwood, despite less goals, is a better player than last season's Mason Greenwood, because I'm seeing certain things that he's doing, especially on the right, holding his position, etc., staying out wide, being able to do, and even, towards the end of the game, just killing the game in the corner, like little things like that.
I think he's grown. Yeah, I think he's grown as a player, and I think there was, and maybe this is just what happens with young players. Fergie always used to say, didn't he, like, you can never rely on young players for consistency. They're going to be up and down until they get into their 20s. You got to remember, his kid's only 19 still. He's probably played more football than is probably a good thing, in the circumstances that he's played them in at the moment. So I would say I think there's been a period of growth. He was poor earlier in the season. I think it'd be fair to say. And he's scored a right load of goals recently, but I think that the good form started about a month before the goals came.
Yeah,
I think he was playing really well and deserved a goal prior to the last few weeks when he's been not only playing well but also producing goals as well. And I think that's the pleasing thing with him, is he's doing both of those things. And this comes like almost at the same time as that you're hearing he's working one-to-one stuff with Cavani, and you go, is it linked? Because I'm seeing a lot of maturity and intelligence come into his game, and I'm pretty sure that's what this guy brings. So maybe it's linked with
10 goals now for him as well. Do we have to do? Is it important we keep a hold of him? Because I know everyone keeps talking about Haaland and Kane, but to me, unless you've heard differently or you feel differently, I don't think we're getting either of those. No. So I actually think it's important for us to hold on to Cavani.
Yeah.
You think he should?
I don't think we're gonna. I think he's gonna go. I think if your old man told me something, that's what's happening in it. I don't think you coming out on Instagram and saying that's a load of bollocks means that's a load of bollocks. I think what your old fucking fella said is the truth. So I don't think we're going to keep hold of him. I think he is going to move on. And I'm pretty good about that because as he's shown today, he's in a right rich vein of form as well. He's been banging goals in all over the show. I think he can do that. And I think he certainly could do that playing only once a week. Supposedly prior to the match today, Ollie said to him, and it sounded like it came from Cavani, it doesn't really feel like he can play 3 games in a week. Cool. Comes on. What does he have? Half an hour or so? Was it half time he came on?
Yeah.
So he's played half a game. He scored a fucking goal. Mint. Like, you're telling me that don't go to the retirement home of fucking South American football just yet. You've got at least another year where, you could come second again with United.
Ollie's often criticised for the timing of his subs. Changed it early today. Took out Fred, who, rightly or wrongly, was criticised by a lot of people for today's performance. I also think him and McTominay are pretty much the same. But that change seemed to benefit us.
A lot of people will say you don't need 2 defensive midfielders at home to Burnley. Well, they're right. You generally don't. A 4-4-2 Burnley as well. There's not going to be a lot of in between the lines. It's very much 2 banks of 4. You can probably do what you need to do with just one guy. And I generally disagree that Fred and McTominay function as 2 deep and holding midfielders. They're not that. But you can definitely do the job with one of them that you need to do.
Especially at home.
Yeah, in circle. What does that mean at the moment?
Well, yeah, but you mean, by that I mean in games where you're expected to dominate possession, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably best.
I haven't seen what the possession was in this game, but I imagine it was quite heavy for United. I don't remember Burnley passing it around at all. So I think you can definitely do that job in this game. I hope that gives Ollie the confidence to do this more often against these teams, because the reason that you might be frustrated and nullified in this kind of game, I think we pretty much went 4-4-2 at the end and matched them up.
4-4-2 more like it.
And we're better at it because we've got better players in those positions. I hope it gives Ollie the confidence to go, yeah, actually, I can twist the screw a little bit in these games and push on and gamble a little bit, and actually maybe it pays off. But again, it's down to the personnel that you've got available and fit and ready for selection, doesn't it?
Probably got second spot all but sealed. 8 points behind Manchester City.
No, we're not.
Obviously,
no, we're not.
It's a long shot.
No, we're not.
But
no, we're not.
When you're looking at the season and how it's gone, how's your general feel towards the league campaign? Is it one of, damn it, we dropped points that we shouldn't have? A missed opportunity? Or is it...
Yeah, but we're not good enough to be title
This is improvement.
Winners. We're not good enough to be title winners. You can't look at that team and go, that team should have won the league. This isn't 1998. This isn't 1995. This isn't 2010. This isn't one of those teams. This is a team where you go, yeah, it's all right. It's no better than all right, though. And I can see 4 or 5 holes in it that if we fix those, I could imagine this team challenging for titles one day. It's not quite there yet, so you have to take the progress. If we manage to get second place, pick up the Europa, that's back-to-back times finishing in the top 4, which is the first time we've done since Sir Alex retired, and we've picked up a trophy, and we've came second. The next thing that has to happen then is the Glazers have to back the man. They have to go out and have this is the most amount of progress that we've seen as a football club. Put all of your eggs into this basket now and go for it. I thought we should have done that in January. In January, we might have been able to push for the league if we'd have done that. We didn't do that. Okay, can we do it in the summer then? And I doubt we will, but I would love to see us do it and prove me wrong.
Last one man on a match.
Marcus, I think.
Not Mace?
No, not Mace. Yeah, his goals were
Marcus
great.
was very good as well.
I think it was Marcus, to be honest.
Yeah, he was. I thought some of the things Marcus... There's one bit where he should have shot that really annoyed me. But apart from that, his passing, I think, goes... When he decides to pass, his passing range can be very good. And like the weight of pass and everything. And some of the passes down the line for Shaw today were really good. And I thought Shaw played well as well. But yeah, I can't argue with that. Rashford, Murder Mace. Let us know who your man of the match was in the comments below. Go and subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to Stretford Paddock. We got loads more coming up for you this week as well. Andy Tate's got a fan cam. I've got a fan cam. Go watch that. Watch the highlights of the watch long if you want. See you in a bit.